Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. So what I have for you guys today, I'm going to be going ahead and selecting my championship fantasy football team for the upcoming season. So I'm sure all of you guys are aware of how fantasy football works. Of course, you go ahead and pick a team, and then the more points they get, the higher up you finish in the league. So today I'm going to be going ahead and selecting my team for the championship's upcoming season, and you guys can also go ahead and do the same. I'll leave a link to the website in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and make a team. I'll also leave a league code and a password in the description down below, so you guys can then go ahead and copy and paste that, and then you can sign up to the Ben HD YouTube League. So I did one of these last year with Championship Fantasy Football, and it was a bunch of fun. I sort of seemed to lose track of it about halfway through. This year I'll try and stay on top of it and be a lot more consistent. I might do like monthly updates or something like that. But let me know down below who is in your starting 11 for this season's upcoming Championship Fantasy Football. Of course, you get a budget that you have to stick to, and obviously the better players will be more expensive and stuff like that. But I'll quickly talk you through how to sign up on the website, and then we'll go ahead and select my team. So you can just follow the link in the description. That'll take you to this. It is the Telegraph Fantasy Football. You don't have to pay for it or anything like that. It is free. So obviously you go ahead and select pick your team, and then you can go ahead and select your formation and pick the players you want to be going ahead and putting into your team. Then you go ahead and go over to submit. Then you're going to have to create an account on the website. I think the reason you have to be over 18 for this one is because if you sign up to do the paid version, then you're actually playing to win money. But as we're just doing the free one today, we're not going to be doing any of that. Then after you've gone ahead and put your email and password in, you'll have to register for this, so you just need to put a few more details in there, and then it'll go ahead and take you to this page. So you don't need to worry about paying for anything for this one. Basically what the Telegraph have done this year is they've made 3 separate versions of fantasy football: a championship one, a Premier League one, and I think a Champions League one as well. Basically the way they've done it is you can sign up for one of them for free. So obviously we're going to be doing the championship version. If you did want to do any other versions of fantasy football on the Telegraph, then you would have to pay for them, but as you get one of them free, we're of course going to be selecting the championship. And I will be doing another video for Premier League fantasy football, but that will be on a different website. That'll be on the official Premier League fantasy football one for that, so that's also free, so you don't need to worry about any of that. So you can just ignore all of that and go ahead and click on over to leagues, and then it'll ask you what team you support, so obviously you put that in there. Then it'll take you over to leagues, go over to private, and then go over to join league, and then you can go ahead and enter the pin in the description down below and the password. So the pin to go ahead and join the league is 8163528, and then the password is 1000. So then you can go ahead and type that in, and then you should be entered into the Ben HD YouTube League. And I'm excited for this one because last year we had, you know, quite a lot of different teams being made, and I'm interested to see who you guys go ahead and pick for yours. But now, guys, we will move on into selecting my team for this upcoming season. So as you can see on screen now, we have a budget of 50 million, and basically from now until the start of the season you can make unlimited transfers, so it doesn't really matter. You can change your team about until the first day, and then when it gets to the first day of the season, throughout the season you're only allowed to make 40 transfers. So you have to be quite, you have to be quite tactical about who you're bringing in and out of the team. I think you can only make up to 5 transfers per week as well. So we'll go ahead and start out with the formation. For fantasy football, I always like to be quite top heavy, so I'm going to be going for the 3-4-3 formation. So the first thing we're going to be going ahead and doing is selecting the goalkeeper. So in terms of some of the high budget ones, of course, we've got Jack Butland in there, we've got Sam Johnson, Darren Randolph, Pantilimon, Daniel Bentley, so quite a few decent options for this. Scott Carlson quite cheap, only 3.4 million. He kept quite a few clean sheets last season. I think for me, I'm going to go ahead and pick Sam Johnson to go into my team. I feel like West Brom defensively will be quite strong this season, and obviously the more clean sheets that goalkeepers manage to make, the more points they will go ahead and get. Then moving on into defence, we've got quite a few decent options here. I think the first player who's definitely going to come into my team is going to be Aidan Flint. I mean, it's Aidan Flint playing in a Tony Pulis team. Defensively, I think that Middlesbrough will be pretty strong this season, and Flint's a goal scorer. You know, he's a centre-back who scores goals, and in a team who loves set pieces like Middlesbrough, I've got a feeling Aidan Flint's going to score a few this season. Coming in next to him, I'm then going to go ahead and put Ryan Shawcross in there. I have a feeling that Stoke, in my opinion, they're probably going to win the league this season. You know, that's my early prediction for that. So defensively, I think Stoke are probably going to have to be strong this year, and once again, similar to Flint as well, he brings a goal threat. And then to switch it up a little bit for my final defender, I'm actually going to go for Joe Bryan. Now, of course, if he does actually leave for the Premier League, I'm going to have to go ahead and select something else, but in terms of an attacking fullback, he's probably the best in the Championship. So he's going to be getting a lot of crosses into the box, which probably means he's going to get a few assists this season if he does stay at Bristol City. So I'll go ahead and throw Brian in there. So as you can see, that is how my defence and goalkeeper is looking. I'd say that's a solid lineup. I never like to spend too much money on my defence, as I like to pile more of that into the attacking options, really. So moving on now to the midfield, and quite interesting, really. A lot of the expensive options I'm not really fancying at the moment. I think the first midfielder that I'm going to put into my team is going to be Jack Grealish, of course. It's yet to be seen if he is going to stay at Villa, but of course, if he does leave, I'm going to have to put someone else in there. But if Jack Grealish does stay at Villa, I think he's going to have a big season this year in the Championship. He's going to be their main creative source going forward, which probably means he's going to get a lot of goals and assists, of course. It's a big if, but if he does stay, I want Grealish in my team. Coming up next, I am then going to go with Tom Ince, only costing 5.1 million. That's not a bad price, in my opinion. Like I said, once again, I think Stoke are probably going to be the strongest team in the Championship this season, so it would make sense for me to put quite a few of their players into my team, as they're probably going to be getting a lot of points. Tom Ince, all his seasons in the Championship with Derby, he's going to head and score double figures, so if he manages to do that for Stoke, he'll be getting a lot of points this season, so Tom Ince is going to come in next. And amazingly, João Carvalho at Nottingham Forest only costs 3.9 million on this game. That is an absolute bargain, in my opinion. So João Carvalho, I think that with the way that Nottingham Forest have set up, are looking to set up this season, surely they're going to be scoring the goals this season. And with João Carvalho playing as the number 10 this season, I think he's going to have a good one. So for 3.9 million, I can't turn that down. And then as my final midfielder, I'm going to go for a bit of a budget option here, but this is amazingly, Harry Wilson for Derby County only costs 3.1 million, of course. Last season for Hull in the Championship, in the second half of last season, he managed to score 7 goals in I think 13 games for them. So if he's able to replicate that at Derby under Frank Lampard, he's going to be getting a lot of points. And for only 3.1 million, that is ridiculously cheap. So he's going to be coming in as my last midfielder. And now moving on into the forward three, we've actually got quite a lot of my budget left to spend, so we can afford to splash out on some big strikers. But coming in first of all, I'm going to have to put my boy in there. It's going to have to be Shawnee Maguire, of course. Myself being the Preston fan, I've just got a gut feeling this season that Maguire is going to absolutely hit it off. Last season, of course, he went ahead and got injured, but when he was fit for us, he was absolutely superb. In 19 starts last season, Shawnee Maguire was able to score 10 goals, so if he can stay fit for the whole season, I genuinely think he will be bagging them in this season. So he's of course going to be Preston's main goal threat this season, and Maguire for only 4.7 million, that's a good option. I'm also going to go ahead and put Lewis Grabban in there. Once again, another player from Nottingham Forest. He scored 20 goals last season, so he's a proven goal scorer, and like I said, I do anticipate Forest to be quite strong this year. And for only 5.8 million, I think that's a decent price for Grabban. Then as my final striker coming into my team, I am going to go for Benik Afobe from Stoke City. Once again, another Stoke player. They are the spine of this team at the moment, but I just can't ignore them at the moment. For only 5.2 million as well, that's incredibly cheap for someone who probably is most likely to end up as the Championship's top scorer this season. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. But for 5.2 million for a striker like Benik Afobe, I think that's a very good deal indeed. I've decided not to go for a couple players. I've decided not to go for Vidra for the time being. I'm waiting to see what happens with him and whether he ends up at Leeds or not. Same with Martin Waghorn as well. I'm waiting to see where he actually ends up, but for the time being, I think I'm going to stick with this starting 11. So as you can see on screen now, guys, that is my initial team going into this season of Championship Fantasy Football. There are some absolute bargains on this website, by the way. I think Forestieri only costs about 4 million, and so I would put Forestieri into my team, but I just can't justify leaving any of those 3 strikers out. But let me know down below who is going to be going into your team, guys. I am very interested to know. And let me know down below, what do you make of my team? Do you think my team will be in contention for winning the league or not? Let me know down below. But guys, I will now wrap it up for this video, so if you have enjoyed, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Like I said, make sure you do go ahead and sign up and create an account and go ahead and join the Ben HD YouTube League. I'll try and do a couple of updated videos throughout the season, and I think it'll be quite a fun game to play, really. So like I said, guys, that will now wrap it up, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you very much for all the support on the channel recently. Make sure you do leave a like and make sure you do subscribe for some regular Championship content. But apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.